having a good summer. I thought it was time for us to do an astral clean out, and that can only help benefit your summer to get good sleep every night. So for those of you that might not be familiar with the astral, what that is it's the space that we go to when we sleep, also known as our dream space. And tonight we're going to be covering like different aspects of the astral space. The meditation that I have planned for you is going to cover 4 different spaces. So let me tell you what those are before we get started. The first is the 3rd chakra, which is the chakra that houses your out-of-body memory. That's your ability to remember your dreams. So that's an important part of the astral, as well as your connection to your silver cord. So the silver cord is the second space that we're going to be cleaning out. And that is the way that you connect to your physical body when you're out on the astral, so that you know how to find your way home back to your body. And that silver cord comes out of your 3rd chakra. Then the 3rd space is a chamber that we pass through on our way to the astral. And it's actually at the back of the 3rd chakra. So we're going to clean that out. And then the 4th part that we're going to clean out tonight is your actual astral body. And we're going to give that a healing, so that altogether we've covered a lot of the different aspects of the astral. So let's go ahead and get started. We're going to run a little energy while we do our meditation. So go ahead and close your eyes and be right in the center of your head. Be in a comfortable chair with your feet flat on the floor, about hips distance apart. And the first thing you're going to do is put down a grounding cord. That grounding cord starts at the base of your spine. So you can draw a line of energy from the base of your spine straight down through the floor, through the earth, all the way to the center of the planet. And when it gets to the center of the planet, you're going to anchor it in. And you can do that however you want. You can tie it down there or drill it in, glue it in, whatever works for you. And once you have that anchored in, you're going to feel gravity gently pulling on you, which is what you want to feel, is that gentle tug. And it's going to help you release the energies that you're ready to let go of in tonight's meditation. All right. Let's go ahead and start by letting go of any stress that you encountered today. So just say hello to any stress in the body and let that go down your grounding cord. If you still feel like you have responsibilities in your space, go ahead and let go of them so that you can have the next half hour all to yourself. So release the energy of responsibility. And also, if you have any hurry up energy, maybe from work or your day, go ahead and release that so that you can just settle into the meditation. Good. Well, now we're going to put on our male and female groundings. So I'll start with the female grounding. You're going to put a tube underneath your uterus and drop that into your main grounding. And then you're going to ground each of your ovaries into that uterine grounding and each of your sciatic nerves into that grounding. And on the male side, if you're a spirit in a male body, you're going to put a tube underneath your prostate gland and drop that into your main grounding. And then you're going to ground each of your testes into that prostate grounding and each of your sciatic nerves into that grounding. And for those of you in female bodies, go ahead and say hello to any male energy that's in your female space and release that. And to those of you in male bodies, go ahead and say hello to any female energy that's in your male space and release that. And these groundings are a great way to bring your body back to neutral. Good. All right. And now everybody go ahead and say hello to your creative energy that's getting generated out in front of your abdomen. And you're going to create a completely separate grounding for that. That's like another big giant tube out in front of your abdomen. And you're going to ground that creative energy down into the size of a basketball. And drop that grounding cord all the way to the center of the planet as well. And everybody can ground out the energy of problems out of their creative energy. For those of you in male bodies, you might have a little bit more of the energy of responsibility in your creative energy, and you can say hello to that and ground that. And if you are in a female body, you might find more energy of demands in your space. Good. And you can keep those spaces grounded while we're doing the meditation tonight, and that will help you to be able to release energy as we move through our meditation. So we're going to go ahead and get started, and we're going to start with a rose. The whole meditation tonight is done in 4 roses. So we're going to use that symbol, and you can start by creating the image of a fresh new rose out in front of you on your reading screen. And that reading screen is about 12 to 14 inches away from your face. And I like to look at it as a big white movie screen. So create that image of a rose. And this particular rose is going to represent your 3rd chakra, which is the chakra in your solar plexus. That's right under the rib cage. And put a grounding cord on that rose and ground it all the way to the center of the planet. And the first energy we're going to look at or look for in this 3rd chakra rose is the energy of controls or limits that have been put in your 3rd chakra. So I want you to look to see if there are any limits in the 3rd chakra. You might see that as a color or a vibration. And you're going to say hello to that neutrally and send it down the grounding cord on the rose. Now, a limit or a control might be something like when you were a child, if you were told to slow down or be quiet, don't move so fast, something like that. So you might not only find the limit in there, but you might also find the person that told you the limit or tried to get you to limit yourself. And you can say hello to them and move them out as well. The next energy is responsibility energy. Look in the rows and see if you find any responsibility energy and send that down the grounding cord. And now if you are working on any projects that take up your attention or demand your attention, go ahead and say hello to that energy and see if you can release that. Whatever that project is, it will still be there for you tomorrow, so you can release the energy of it tonight. Next, go ahead and look for any worry energy and release that. You have an ability in your third chakra called out of body memory, and that is your ability to remember your dreams. And I know that seems like a funny place for it to be in your solar plexus, but that's where that information is. And we're going to say hello to that ability right now in the rows and give it a grounding. There might be energy that's built up on that. We're blocking it in some way. Good. Now I want you to imagine 4 points inside the rose, and the 4 points look like the number 4 dice. So just 1, 2, 3, 4 points. These points represent your anchor points in that third chakra, and your anchor points are what hold your silver cord into your third chakra. So we're going to give this a healing. Go ahead and say hello as if you had a number 4 dice in the rose, and ground each of those points into the main grounding on the rose. And if you see any energy on any of those points, just give it a neutral hello and send it down its grounding cord. Good. Now go ahead and fill your rose in with a gold sun. You can fill those 4 dots in too with gold. And then we're going to disperse all this energy, and the way that we do that is we're going to blow up the rose. So you can imagine a bomb underneath the rose or a stick of Acme dynamite, whatever you choose to use. Just go ahead and light the fuse and blow it up. All right, good job. Now we're going to create a second rose, and this rose is going to represent your silver cord. So go ahead and out on your screen, create a brand new rose with a brand new grounding cord all the way to the center of the planet and anchor it in. Now we're going to use a gold sponge for this exercise to clean the rose while it's being grounded. So imagine using this gold sponge to clean off all the petals of the rose. And when that gold sponge gets filled with energy, you can squeeze it out and fill it back in with some more gold and go back to the rose and clean more petals. Now, as you're cleaning the petals, you may find beings attached to the petals. Go ahead and ask Supreme Being to move the beings off of the petals. And remember, if you find a being, you can always give the being a gold grounding cord to the center of the planet, and then create a gold line of energy from the top of the being's head to a gold sun. That gold sun represents Supreme Being, and then ask Supreme Being to move the being out. Now you're going to look for any energy that you might have brought back with you from the astral that might still be on your silver cord. And again, you can use that gold sponge to clean it off. Good. We want that silver cord all squeaky clean now. And what you're going to do is create a great big gold sun above the rose for your silver cord. You can let go of your your golden sponge. You can put that with the rose because we're going to blow it up after you fill it in with the big gold sun. So after you've brought that gold sun into the rose, go ahead, put a balm under it and the sponge and blow it all up. All right, next we're going to create another new rose, and this rose is going to represent the chamber, or what I call the gateway that you pass through on your way to the astral. This chamber is at the back of your third chakra, but we're going to treat it like it's its own separate space. So go ahead and create a rose for it and ground the rose to the center of the planet. And we're going to start to say hello to and release some energies that have been stuck in there. And I want you to look to see if there's any fear in this chamber and say hello to it and put it down the grounding cord. Is there any resistance in this chamber? Go ahead and release that. You might resist going back out on the astral if you had a bad experience the last time you were out. So go ahead and clear any resistance. Do you have any anger in this chamber? The thing about anger in this chamber is it might cause you to only be able to go out on the lower levels of the astral because that's a low vibration. So go ahead and clean that out. And then check for depression. Is there any depression energy in here? Good. Now we're going to look for beings in this space. See if you notice any beings hanging out around the rose or attached to it, plugged into it. Now you might find unconscious beings in this space where their energy is really dull, and you might need a hello from Supreme Being to move those beings out. So again, go ahead and give any beings that you find a gold grounding cord all the way to the center of the planet, and then a gold line of energy to a gold sun above the being's head. If you can find the head, if it's a blob, just draw the line from the top of the blob. And then ask Supreme Being to move the being out. Now we're going to use the gold sponge again, just to give this space a really nice cleaning. So go ahead and pull out your golden sponge and sponge off the petals of the rose. Good. We want this space to be open and clear, so it's a nice smooth transition out of the physical body into the astral. So once it's clear, go ahead and fill it in with a big gold sun. And then you're going to blow up that rose. Good. Now there are, our last space is going to be the astral body. And there's many aspects of your astral body, but we're going to keep it simple tonight and ground it in the symbol of a rose. So go ahead and create the last rose out on your screen and ground it to the center of the planet. And the first thing I want you to do is look at the rose and see if the rose is holding any dark energy. Let's start there and ground the darkness out. Does your rose look whole, or is it poorly formed or misshaped? This could be a sign of stuck energy in your astral body, so keep grounding it. Do you see any unconscious energy in the rose? Go ahead and ground that out if you do. And again, we're going to check the astral body for any beings that might be plugged into it. So look around the rose to see if you see any beings, and do the same thing to move the being out. Give it the gold grounding cord and the gold line of energy to the gold sun, and ask Supreme Being for some help moving the being out of your astral body. Good. Now, does it look like any part of your astral body is out of communication with Supreme Being? What we're going to do is create a gold sun above the rose for Supreme Being, and now connect a gold line of energy from the top of the rose to that gold sun. Connecting the rose to the gold sun with the gold line of energy will help put it back into communication with Supreme Being. Now you're going to create another sun to fill in all of that, to fill in the rose, the gold line of energy, and the sun. So fill all of that in with the gold sun. And when it's all filled with gold, you can go ahead and blow all of it up. Now create a gold sun above your own head and call your energy back from the day, from the week, wherever you might have left it. And when that sun is big and full of your energy, go ahead and bring it in through the top of your head and fill up every cell of your body. And when you're all done filling yourself up, go ahead and open your eyes and come on out of trance. I'm just going to take a quick look at you. So you're releasing a lot of energy, and your astral space might be a little different for the next night or two. Hopefully it's better sleep. Some of you might notice that you're releasing energy still in your astral space. So keep filling in with gold suns. You can fill in all those spaces that we cleared tonight: the third chakra, the silver cord, the chamber, that you leave to go out onto the astral in, and your astral body itself. You can keep bringing in gold suns to all of that because you released a lot of energy tonight. In fact, it looks like steam is coming off of you. From where I sit, it's really enjoyable to watch. Like, yeah, steam coming off your body. And you know what this has done? This is really cool, is it's really helped you with your chakras, I believe, because what I'm seeing is a lot of electric blue in your aura now. So that electric blue shows up when the chakras are spinning properly. It shows up in between the layers of the aura. And I'm seeing a lot of electric blue right now. And that electric blue is your own natural protection energy. So that makes sense, actually, now that I think about it, that you have cleared your astral space, so you have a lot more protection for your astral travels. That's very exciting. That's really cool. All right. Well, good job. I just have an announcement about next week. It's next Wednesday night will be our soul support healing, and it's on divine love. So I look forward to seeing you then. And I want to thank you for joining me tonight in this meditation. I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed working with you. So I look forward to next Wednesday night, and I hope to see you there. Have a great week and continue enjoying your summer, because it isn't going to be around forever, and we got to enjoy it while we have it. All right. Good night. Have a lovely evening. Bye-bye.